Well, here we are. Flashback Monday, June 2014. How the time is going so quickly. I wanted to say a quick thank you to Zebook, Selena. Extra thanks to Selena who makes sure she puts a heart on every single video I do. And Trudy, Reef Sonata, thank you all for checking out my videos every day. So let's get to it. Oh, this is the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina Kairos, TINA. This is where I read books, talk about books, no special effects, no theme music, none of that fancy smancy stuff going on here. And if you could, please like and subscribe. I hardly ever ask. I always forget. The last couple of videos I've recorded, I've completely forget to mention me at all. So, anyways, June 2014. Ah, right. Okay. We always start with Regency and we always end with erotica. So let's get to it. Zoe Archer, Wicked Temptation, and right there, naked guy on the cover. And for the record, I always do 4 or 4.5 stars. If it's a 3-star, we'll talk about it. Kicking off in Victorian London, the latest in the Nemesis Unlimited series, an outstanding Archer's ability to create an action-packed, emotionally charged love story with three-dimensional characters that her fans care about. Widow Bronwyn discovers that her late husband's business manager, Devery, stole all their money. Then a man knocks on the door offering to help her recover her funds. He identifies himself as Marco Black, a member of Nemesis Unlimited. Marco, an ex-government spy, convinces Bronwyn to aid him in his search for Devere. The search leads from England to France, and Marco discovers that Bronwyn is courageous and a quick thinker. Then they realize they're falling in love. Candace Camp, treasured. That looks like a similar pose. We'll see somebody else slightly posed like this later in the video. Not in the same clothes either. I think she's in leather. I'll have to look. Treasured, 4.5 stars. The first in Camp's Secrets of the Lock trilogy demonstrates her ability to draw readers in with strong, well-drawn characters. A legend of hidden treasure. Smokey. A legend of hidden treasure, a man who hides behind many facades, and a woman who fights for her birthright. Cold, wet, and tired, Jack Kensington regrets his desire to travel to Scotland to view the house he won in a card game. Though he plans to sell the place, he's shocked to discover Isabel Rose knew nothing of her brother gambling away the family property. She tries to persuade him to keep the house as an income property. He declines, but gives her as much time as she needs to settle her affairs. Isabel is made of stronger stuff and determined to keep her ancestral home. So they talk of marriage instead. She's like, well, then marry me. Then I can keep the house. Oh, well. Um, Scoundrels of Seduction. Jennifer Haymore. Um, let's see. A Season of Seduction. Did I get the wrong book? I got the wrong book. I got the wrong book. All right. We got the wrong book. Let's see if there's a picture. in here. Otherwise, we'll see. Nope, those are from the last. There's no special editing here. Leave. I want to talk about that. Here it is. Naked guy on the cover. That's just egg on my face that I got the wrong book. 4.5 stars. Haymore excels at adventurous romance. The latest House of Trent novel is proof, skimming with sexual tension and excitement and just the right amount of humor and historical detail. Secret agent Sam Hawkins' mission is to ferret out and assassinate a traitor. With his mission accomplished, Sam is ready to flee, but he discovers there's a witness, his target's wife, Eloise Lady Dunhap. He has no choice but to take her captive. Eloise knew nothing of her husband's clandestine activities, but she has to convince Sam of her innocence. Handsome, brave, and kind, Sam is a man Eloise could love. So see what happens there. Oh, oh. Wait, hold on a second. I think. And another point of embarrassment is that I had this book, but I thought, for some reason, I thought that it had arrived late for the May RT. So I took it back because I didn't need it if it wasn't. Well, my mistake was that it arrived early for the June one. I have egg on my face now. Should have kept the book. So, picture. He's got some clothes on. He's ravishing her. Shoot. Karen Rainey. When I think of Karen Rainey, I think of Scotland. Oh, this is late. 1875. The Virgin of Clan Sinclair. Let's see. Let me fix this here just a little bit. Okay. Each Sinclair novel is more delightful than the last. With this clever, sexy, fun, and fast read, Rainey will make readers smile, laugh, and sigh. Elise Taylor is the image of quiet, refined young lady, but her imagination is wild. Elise is stunned when a man who closely resembles the hero of her book, Ross Foster, Earl of Gladstone, walks into her life. Ellie stows away in his carriage, hoping to reach Edinburgh and get her book published. Ross discovers her manuscript under the seat, realizing that if Ellie ever publishes it, people will believe he's her hero, and his political career will be ruined. He'll do anything to stop her, but he doesn't plan on being caught in a compromising situation and having to marry her. Excuse me, I can see this coming now. Um, all right. If you have not seen, and it's going to be at the bottom of the pile. It's going to be on the bottom of the pile because this I know I have here. If you have not seen my videos on, all right, what do I do with it? No, I purposely. So, I just spent 20 minutes looking for a book that's sitting right in front of me. Literally sitting right in front of me. Oh, good God. Okay. Now, as I was saying, if you haven't seen one of my very, very first if thens, it was a while ago. It was over 70 videos ago. Just pull it up. Mallory's versus Bridgerton's. If then, I think it's number one. I'm pretty sure it's one or two. I should have later on. I do the Sinsters too, and we are doing the Sinsters every single Saturday night. So if you check that video out, I'd appreciate it, and hit the like and subscribe would help too. Um, but my one of my very first. Are you coming up here? Smoke. Mommy put her books on her post. Come here. Are you coming here? Are you coming here? Yes or no? Come here. Come here. I can't reach you. Come here. Come here. Come here. You're big. You're heavy. You're heavy. Go on. Gotta go on a diet, dearie. So, if you haven't seen my Mallory versus Bridgerton's, I think I did the Mallory's because it's a short series, like the Bridgerton's is a short series. But if you want something to go on a while, if you want to get invested in characters and people and relationships, Sinsters. The series is over 30 books. And we're gonna go through them all on Saturdays. So if you haven't checked out Devil, A Rake's Vow, Scandal's Bride, All About Love, All About Passion, A Promise and a Kiss, check them all out. So, and the author behind it all, Joanna Lindsay, Stormy Persuasion, a Mallory novel. It's the kids' novel. 4.5 stars. The Mallorys are back at sea. This is the story Mallory pirate fans have been waiting for, and this consummate storyteller doesn't disappoint. There's an adventure, sexual battles, storms, family hijinks, and a rapier wit. Best of all the father-daughter relationships that add humor and pathos. And if that isn't enough, there's a slew of Mallory members to satisfy everyone who wants to see their old friends in new adventures as a new generation makes waves. Joanna Lindsay delivers. Cousins Judith and Jacqueline, Jack to her father, are best friends. When Jacqueline is to make her come out in America, Judith too makes the trip. Smuggler Nathan Tremaine has one chance to reclaim his stolen ship and receive a pardon. He's a crewman aboard the Mallory's vessel heading to Connecticut to complete his mission. But everything is blown off course when he spies Judith. Judith finds Nathan arrogant and uses her knowledge and about his identity to keep annoying him. Their verbal sparring escalates, desire blossoms, but with her watchful family, Judith wonders if they'll ever get a moment alone. However, when the Mallorys need a ship and James' life is in danger, Nate steps in, proving he's a good guy, a good scoundrel. We shall see. I'm gonna throw these in. A Promise of More. Bronwyn Evans. Hmm. 4 stars. If you're not a Regency fan, historical Evans' seduction second in the Disgraceful Lord series will change your mind in a jiffy. This compassionate story is completely captivating, moves fast, and nails the details of his time period. The gradual tension between the character and their unexpected romance will raise eyebrows and keep readers absorbed throughout the entire book. Sebastian Hawthorne Lloyd Coulthurst has committed murder, although he didn't mean to kill the man during the duel. The crime is still considered a capital offense. Beatrice Hennessy is determined to confront Sebastian for killing her brother and will stop at nothing to save her family from going broke. Sebastian suggests they marry since it's the least he can do to offer, basically stealing her family's financial security. Although he will regret his wrongdoing forever and Beatrice will have a rough time pushing her bitterness aside, they get married? Okay. You killed my brother, but I'm gonna marry you? I don't know. Um, oh, I didn't even look for this one. I don't think there's a. Oh, um, the Accidental Duchess, Madeline Hunter. Four stars. Hunter's consistent ability to create with excellent plots and captivating characters comes to a force again in this fourth installment of the Fairborn Quartet, rife with strong emotions and wonderful building of sexual tension. When Lady Lydia Alfreton is blackmailed over a manuscript she penned, she believes the only way to prevent a scandal is to get the money for the blackmailer through gambling. When she's unable to win enough, Lydia approaches Clayton Galbraith, the Duke of Penhurst, about a wager he suggested, her innocence for £10,000. When Lydia loses, it changes their lives, but Penhurst enjoys her company, intelligence, curiosity, and adventurous spirit. Maybe she'll end up his wife. The once and future Duchess, Sophie Nash. 4 stars. For anyone looking for a fun, light, and fast read, Nash latest is perfect. The royal entourage of Prince's inner circle has caused quite a bit of scandal, and the Prince Regent is demanding the Duke of Candover wed. He secretly hopes he'll choose Isabella Tremont, the Duchess of March, after all. She's Prince's secret pen pal, and she has loved the Duke forever. Even though she fears he will think he's too old for her, Isabel boldly proposes to Candover. Alas, he's had 2 bungled engagements, and he's not about to spoil their friendship. However, Isabel is determined to lure him into her arms and into her bed. See what happens there. Oh, I'm gonna have to get some tape now. Oh, sorry. Um, The Queen Exiles, Barbara Kyle. Oops. 1572. Kyle brings a highly volatile, overlooked, and fascinating period of history to life in this heart-stopping thriller. It opens readers' eyes to entirely new locals and historical events that often shadowed. After his wife's betrayal, Adam Thorley has sworn to track down her. After his wife's betrayal, Adam Thornley has sworn to track her down and make her pay. When his ship is damaged in the battle, he turns to Fenla Doom and her men to repair the ship. Adam saved Fenla 11 years ago and rescues her again now after she kills the powerful Duke of Alba's men. They return to Brussels at a time when the Spanish are slaughtering the lowlanders and fear is rampant. Fenella hides right under the Duke's nose, joining a band of rebels, while Adam hunts for his wife and children. Her courage and determination bring them together, and a powerful love grows while danger rises around them. And that is the end of Regency. And we are now moving on to mainstream fiction. Karen White, a long time gone. I don't know why it's in gray, but it's in gray. Hmm. 4.5 stars. White's latest unforgettable page turner features a murder mystery masterpiece from the past that lures and captivates her reader. When there's no place left to run like generations of Walker women before her, Vivian eventually finds her way back to Indian Mound, Mississippi, back to the family wounds, regrets, and boys she left behind. She's come back to the home that's lovingly housed her family for 100 years, looking for solace, but it's buried bones, secrets, and a heap of unfinished business she finds instead. Here and again, Nicole Dixon. That's not coming through at all. 4.5 stars. If you could seamlessly blend the movie Field of Dreams with Audrey Neffing as the time traveler's wife and a season liberally with John Jake's North and South, you might find yourself with this unput downable book. Ginger Martin lost her husband to the Iraq War, alone with her 3 children and her husband's grandmother. She's facing a move back to her hometown of Seattle. A stranger who seems to appear randomly has other thoughts, however, and helps her find her way in the present while coming to terms with the past. Um, Empire Girls. Lighting is horrible. If anybody knows how to fix that, let me know. Susan Hayes and Loretta Nine, 4.5 stars. The authors of the unbelievable, beautiful historical novel I'll Be Seeing You have teamed up once again, this time to tell an creakily moving tale of two sisters in 1920s New York. The characters will make readers feel something in their hearts for women facing a seemingly impossible situation. Ivy and Rose are as unlikely sisters can be. Rose is responsible and makes sure to take care of the family, while Ivy is more carefree. However, after their father dies unexpectedly, both girls are in for a shock. Not only has he left them with no money, but he's also left their home to their brother they never knew they had. Soon Rose and Ivy head to New York to find him and reclaim the home they grew up in. Oh, how evil. Another woman. Another woman's man. 4 stars. Ellis does a marvelous job with common theme in romance. What happens when you fall for another woman's man? Still, there are enough surprises to make this novel worth saving. Dawn Gibbons and her sisters have been trained well by their mother to date and marry rich men. After following suit twice, Dawn is tired of men. So at 37, she's unprepared for the appearance of a man professing to be her father. Just as unnerving is her attraction to his mentee, Xavier. They may be gold diggers, but the Gibbons women have a code of honor. Okay. Well, then how can she date a guy who's married? Um, Family of Lies. Mary Monroe, 4 stars. Family of Lies is gritty and raw, trademarks of Monroe's novels. Her literary prowess makes her a powerful, undeniable force in multicultural fiction. When a former mistress dies, Kenneth learns that Sarah, her teenage daughter, is his only child. In his quest to make this up to his wife Vera, he becomes putty in her villainous hands. Okay, that doesn't sound good at all. On to teen. Ruin and Rising. Lee Bardago, 4.5 stars. With her signature style, Bardago brings her thrilling geisha trilogy to a satisfying end that will surprise and delight in equal measures. As Alina and her friends continue to search for the Firebird, the final amplifier, they encounter even more dangers and betrayals. With the Darkling still determined to claim her and powers, Alina must decide between doing what's right and what's necessary in order to save her friends and her people. Push. 4.5 stars. Push is the sequel fans of Rush have been anxiously waiting for. There's heart stopping adrenaline here, though perhaps in smaller doses. During these respites, reader will love watching Mickey grow into herself. She continues to be the highlight of the series. That's impossible not to like. During the last battle of Rush, Mickey Jones lost more than she could bear, but she isn't going to let that stop her or team in their fight to survive. Mickey can't shake the feeling that she's being watched, but it is Daru, the mysterious committee, or something else together. She is pulled into the game again, but this time it goes even further. Will she survive? As my girlfriend told me. Julie Ann Peters. In this highly idolized version of teenage LGBTQ experience, protagonist Alex and girlfriend Swanee are out and deliriously happy at the Colorado High School until all falls apart. When Alex's girlfriend dies suddenly, Alex is devastated. Swanee was her first girlfriend and, as far as Alex is concerned, the love of her life. But Swanee wasn't exactly what she seemed. Soon more lies come to light. Secret identity? Dangerous creatures. Tammy Garcia and Margaret Stoll, 4 stars. Fans of the Beautiful Creatures saga will revel in the Fursten Garcia and Stoll spin-off series. No longer the arrogant siren, Ridley is the star here, and her first adult experience with fear and love are rendered in beautiful passages. Link is finally getting out of Gateland, South Carolina for good. His God-fearing mother thinks he's starting the freshman year at Georgia Redeemer, but the hybrid incubus' final destination is New York City, where he's convinced he'll be a rock star in no time. See what happens. Oh, it's yeah, it. All right, on to sci-fi. Prince of Fools. 4.5 stars. Lawrence opens a new page in the Broken Empire universe while still revisiting people, places, and worlds. This fantastical and ill-fated bloody journey with a necromantic edge is rendered beautifully by his dramatic nightmares prose. Cowardly Ray Prince Joanne Kendallith has narrowly escaped the death at the hands of the Red Queen Sorceress, and inadvertently become spellbound to an embroiled Norse warrior. Sori versus Sanagan's plans for revenge and rescuing his family have taken an unattended turn when he is magically entangled with a partying prince. See what happens there. And Artemis Waking. Jane Lynn Scold. 4 stars. Lynn Scold's world of Artemis is instantly captivating. The lovely cover art is eye-catching, but it was Adora and the planet as a whole that kept this reviewer interested and excited. I don't care for the cover. Didn't catch my eye. Artemis was a pleasure planet created by and for the richest citizens of technology advanced human empire. When a war destroys that empire, all traces of Artemis are wiped out, and a fable told children Artemis is still alive. Archaeologist Griffin Dane finds himself stranded there and soon discovers Artemis people and animals have evolved. Okay. To me, sci-fi is Star Trek, ships, other planets. I did a whole video on that. You have to go check it out. Um, Mystery. Seems to be written by a whole bunch of people. Take 23 of the world's most famous thriller writers and pair off the renowned characters in 11 short stories, and the end is a marvelous anthology. Dehaan's Patrick Kenzie meets Michael Connery's Harry Bosch in The Red Eye that takes Bosch to Boston to work a cold case. John Rebus and Roy Grace bring their sidekick along in the nick of time, told by Ian Rankin and Peter James. One particularly creepy tale gaslighted pits R.L. Stein's slappy ventriloquist dummy against Douglas Preston and Lincoln Child's Aloysia Pendergrass. The Devil Bones by Steve Berry and James Rowland, Cotton Malone, and Gray Pierce take a not-so-leisurely cruise down the Amazon. Lee Child and Joseph Finder have Reacher and Heller get down and dirty in good and valuable consideration. There's a lot of authors here. Love me some cozy. I did a I did a knitting cozy for June, so please go check that out. Amanda Lee, Thread End. 4.5 stars. This great cozy has a lively cast, including a heroine who has enough curiosity to throw herself into the mystery without seeming reckless, and a lovable Irish wolfhound. Marcy Singer, owner of the 7-Year Stitch embroidery shop, is looking forward to the antique textile exhibit at Tallahassee Falls Museum. The opening is a success, but when Marcy finds a dead body behind her store wrapped in one of the rugs, the fun is over. The body is that of a missing art expert and possible thief. A too serious FBI agent seems to consider her a suspect, but her boyfriend, Detective Ted Nash, looks out for her. Then Marcy makes a discovery that could answer mysteries of the past and present. See what happens there. Oh, um, ah, Brooklyn. Right? Yep. Yep, yep, yep. We've done some of these for our videos. So please check Kate Carlisle. The book stops here. Brooklyn refurbishes old books or repairs old books. 4.5 stars. Carlisle's books keep getting better. This addition to the Bibliography Mystery Series has 2 separate mysteries as well as an engaging look at the world of antique book appraisal and how far people will go to get rare books. Bookbinder Brooklyn Wainwright has landed a spot on the TV show This Old Attic, on which she will praise rare books. The first guest, Vera, finds out the worth of her copy of The Secret Garden and asks Brooklyn's help to make some minor repairs so the book can be sold. When Vera ends up dead, Brooklyn decides to investigate, much to her live-in boyfriend, security expert Derek Stone's dismay. Strange incidents start happening on the set, and Brooklyn is attacked by a man who claims the book belongs to him. These are good. I enjoy these. These are good. Check out my videos for them. Um, let's see. This looks scary. Eleanor Coons, Cradle to the Grave, 4.5 stars. Set in 1797 Maine and New York, this is a vivid and historically accurate picture of life in the small town rules of the time. Former revolutionary soldier Will Reese is living with his wife Lydia on a Maine farm. When Lydia gets a letter from her old friend Mouse asking her for help, Will doesn't want to travel through the harsh winter weather, but he'll go for his wife Mouse, a gentle woman living in Shaker community, has been accused of kidnapping children and claiming their mother is unfit to care for them. In New York, they realize there is nothing they can do for Mouse, but before they reach home, the mother is murdered and Mouse is arrested for it. see what happens there. Um, do not know if this one, you know, I keep saying, and I keep meaning to, I try to do it when I first start gathering the books up, but I never actually accomplish it. Um, so, Terminal City, Linda Farnstein. Foreign Stress. Feinstein's novels combine a law and order spectral victims unit with a piece of New York City history. Terminal City is her best book yet, with a look at Grand Central's terminal alongside a baffling murder. Assistant DA Alexandra Cooper gets a call to a swanky hotel near Grand Central, and she and her colleagues are surprised to find a signature mark on the victim's body. When a murdered homeless man has the same mark, Cooper and the police realize the clues are just the deaths are just beginning. The clues lead to an underground city beneath Grand Central and the large population of people who call the tunnels home. There have been some rumors about what's under there. There have been some rumors of closed up tunnels and old fashioned tile work and all kinds of stuff. There's some videos about those on YouTube. Um, we shall see. What's next on my list? Maggie Toussaint. I don't. Okay. Uh, Gone and done it. Maggie Toussaint. After the first three chapters, reader will begin to appreciate just how multi-dimensional Toussaint's first paranormal mystery is. There are several layers in this novel, including the mystery at hand as well as those surrounding Bailey's past. Single mom Bailey Powell has been gifted with the ability to dream walk or to communicate with the dead while in a dreamlike trance. Despite her unique ability, Bailey insists on performing honest hard work while pet sitting and landscaping her business, Pets and Plants. At the site of a landscaping project, Bailey digs up a human skull and is intent on learning more about the victims through dreamwalking. Considering everyone in St. Clair County knows about her gift, Bailey must quickly identify the killer before she's the next victim. See what happens there. Um, and this was a small pile of books for this all day and night. Alafab Burke. I'd call that a busy cover. I'd call it a bright, dark color. Can't make the vision blurry cover situation. 4 stars. This entry in Burke's Ellis Hatcher series continues to flesh out the heroine. Readers witness her struggling with the commitment issues in her personal life and friction with detective partner Reagan. There is no lack of suspects, twists, and surprises that keep the reader guessing till the end. When a murder has the same MO as that of an incarcerated serial killer, a celebrity lawyer adds the case to a list of reasons to free a convicted murderer. NYPD detectives Ellie Hatcher and J.G. Rogan are the fresh look team assigned to determine if evidence in the original trial was tainted. The high-profile lawyer hires a young attorney, the half-sister of one of the victims, a victim whose murder doesn't fit the mold of the other killings, in an effort to further bolster the wrongful conviction claim. It seems like everyone has something to hide, but Hatcher and Rogan are working to uncover those deeply buried secrets. See what happens there. Inspirational. Okay, inspirational. A mother's secret. Amy Clipson. 4.5 stars. Concerns about appearances and gossip once again interfere with an opportunity for love. But Josh and Carolyn stand against the judgment of others, makes them incredibly brave characters as they take steps forward for the happiness they realize God wants them to have. At 31, Carol Knapp is still single and not entirely because she had a child when she was a teenager. Her brother Amos refuses to forgive her transgression, and his sons blame her when they misbehave. Carolyn is left wondering if she's worthy of true love, but holds on to hope when she meets Joshua Glick. When Amos pressures her to marry a widower for whom she feels no attraction, she struggles between security and happiness. Happiness. Choose happiness. Um, Karen Whitmire. Full steam ahead. The lady in green. Is it? That's on there anyway. That's not a glare. This is the picture. Huh. Oh, he's letting go some steam or something out of that machine. That's why that thing is there. It's I don't know if you can see it, but that's what he's doing. He's steaming her. Mm. 4.5 stars. Whitmire's latest is full steam ahead. Good. Oh, I get it. Steam ahead. The steam. He's okay. Whitmer's readers will appreciate the research the author has done to give her story depth and give her character added dimension. They will also enjoy the solid storyline. Ever since a boiler exploded aboard the Louisiana, Darius Thornton has been trying to find a way to prevent another deadly disaster. Nicole Renaud's father is deathly ill, so she leaves home in search of a husband and heir for her father's shipping business. Nicole finds herself taking a secretarial position for a reclusive scientist obsessed with boilers. As Nicole and Darius grow closer, will she be able to tell him the truth about who she is? You know, uh, stuck together. Mary Connolly. The one in the corner here. I just had it. I just had it. 4.5 stars. 1860 Texas. Connolly's latest starts with a spirited girl and a big brawl. Tina is a strong-willed yet sympathetic heroine, and Vince is charmingly genuine. Tina Cahill isn't making any friends as she's determined to get to the local saloon in Broken Wheel, Texas, shut down. Attorney and Sheriff Vince Yates thinks Tina is in trouble and they grate on each other's nerves. When Vince's family arrives in town, his life suddenly becomes more complicated as he faces the past he purposely left behind. And there are complications. A moment in time. The one over here. 4 stars. Peterson tells a beautiful story of family, faith, and love and forgiveness. The strong familial and neighborly bonds explored in this novel leave readers feeling content and secure. Alice Chesterfield is an endearing young woman who loves those around her to a fault. When the financial crisis of the 1890s comes to a boil, Alice moves to live with her friend Marty With and Marty's family in Texas. Through a series of events, Alice is reunited with her mother who left her father in the middle of the night 5 years ago, and Alice learns to forgive her mom. Okay. And a woman of fortune. 4 stars. Kelly Coates Gilbert. Claire is a strong female lead. It's refreshing that she does not buckle under the immense pressure she is facing, and the human quality of her struggle is relatable to readers. Claire's messy life is as close to perfect as it gets, with a loving family, immense wealth, and friends by her side. When her husband is charged with cattle fraud, her idyllic life quickly crashes around her, and she's got to fight for what's hers. Now, wait, I want to see some. Hold on a second. Mm, My sleepy baby over here. Okay. Through Deep Waters, Kim Vogel. Huge. 4.5 stars. Sawyer writes as someone who fully understands the redemptive process of her characters. This tale is set during a time when employed options for women were limited, and Sawyer eliminates his fact with historical details. Dina grew up around an untrustworthy group of women and men at the brothel where her mother worked, and died. Her only confidant in the brothel's head cook, who encourages her to move away and make something of her life. But Dana takes the shame and humiliation of her childhood with her. She wants to become one of the esteemed women who serve the elegant guests of the Clifton Hotel in Florence. But it's here that she begins to grasp that a secret from her former life could get her expelled by her new employer. See what happens. On to suspense. All these are right here. And I kept looking at my pile. I kept looking. I kept looking at my shelves, kept staring at, hoping for the book to materialize, because this would be an author that I would have. And I kept sitting there going, how come I don't have this? I have this and this and this, but how come I kept looking and looking. It's like, this book has to be here. This book has to be here. And it wasn't. And I still think it's, although it might be by Gina Showalter. I kept looking. I kept looking. Deeper Than Need, Shiloh Walker. This novel is full of tension. There's lots of sexual tension, which makes the romance more real, and there is the tension of slowly revealed evil. Trinity Ewing needs a sort of reboot for her life, and she thinks she has found the perfect place for it. She is rehabbing an old house in Madison, Indiana, so she and her son can build a future there. She has found a good contractor in Knowing Bennett, and she likes his work even though he is too attractive for comfort. Now, if things can just go smoothly, she'll be on her way. No one knows that Trinity cannot possibly know about the history of her house, or she never would have bought it. He hates being here, but she is a lovely woman with an adorable little boy, and he cannot abandon her to the shadows that haunt this house. But when a body is found in the basement, XYZ affair, Mary Billiter, the gal in the middle. This captivating mystery with some absorbing family dynamics that will keep the reader involved until the very end, though it's not difficult to understand the heroine's lack of successful relationships. A new job too good to pass up, teaching a class at university, has an author and twice divorced mom of 3, Daniela Quinn, returning to her hometown of Casper, Wyoming. Staying temporarily with her parents, Dana finds herself strongly attracted to her neighbor Chris Gorham. When asked to look at some human bones found at construction site at the university, bones that were not turned over to the proper authorities, Dana gets involved in secrets that may include not only Chris but her own family as well. Hostile Ground. Let's see if we can. And if you're still here at this juncture, I have seriously been considering doing an Eminem video and an FF video. We'll have to see. Or maybe we'll do 5 MMs and 5 FFs. If anybody's here and has an opinion, let me know. I didn't know whether to step on those toes or not. L.A. Witt and Alexander Vonio. Witt and Vonio's book of Undercover Danger has a good blend of romance and suspense. Seattle Detective Hussein is on his first undercover assignment in a strip club where only gay men are hired as the muscle, which isn't a problem for Mohair. The head of security is another matter. He's introduced to Ridley, who tests Mohair's sexuality in a very personal way. Okay. Huh. Yeah, this is probably upstairs. I should have looked for it. I didn't even bother looking for it. Cat Martin against the wind. In her latest, Martin's eventual style of storytelling artful mixes romance and suspense. Her characters are sympathetic and appealing, and the attraction between Lane and Dylan is fiery hot. Interior designer Lane Bishop travels to Alaska to work on a remodel of businessman Dylan Brody's newly purchased 1930s fishing lodge. She also hopes to ignite the attraction that lies between them. Burned by a past relationship, Lane doesn't want anything permanent. Neither does Dylan. His last relationship ended with his ex-wife abandoning him and his daughter. Yet both Lane and Dylan are not quite willing to end the relationship. Open shirt, naked guy on the cover. I couldn't resist. Um, Jill Sorensen backwards. Naked guy on the cover. Flowed, well-defined characters and the electrifying chemistry between Nathan and Abby are the highlights of Sorensen's backstory. Abby Hammond, her college daughter Brooke, and Brooke's step-brother Leo go on a hiking trip in the county backwards. Recovering alcoholic Nathan Strom, Leo's dad, joins him hoping to reconnect with his estranged son. But what he doesn't expect is his instant attraction to Abby. Oh, let's just go back for a second. 3 questions for Cat Martin. Let's just put this. There you go. 3 questions for Cat Martin. Your new set of Against books kicks off Brody's of Alaska series, and you went to Alaska to research. What was it like? I've been to Alaska twice, both times for a month each, both times staying in the back of a pickup camper. It's not a trip for the faint of heart. So she went there. It's above and beyond the call of duty. Let's go on to contemporary romance. Oops. Shoot. I have no idea what time I went to this. Oh well. 54. There'll be no timestamp for suspense because I completely forgot to do it. Alright, contemporary romance. The the troublemaker next door. Okay. 4.5 stars, a scorcher. Strong, sweaty, and lusty sex scenes are critical in a romance novel, but they're not enough to sustain an entire story. Thankfully, Heart also includes an amazing storyline filled with strong-willed characters and a reluctant love affair. Mady is on a rampage against all men and for legitimate reasons. In the same day she broke up with her boyfriend and quit her job after her boss propositioned her for sex. When she meets her neighbor Flynn Macaulay, she changes her tune. When Flynn is captivated by the fiery redhead and admires her independence, Maddie enjoys the good sex and goes to great lengths to keep things as casual as possible. But I think he wants more. Something to talk about. That song keeps going through my head. Dakota Cassidy, something to talk about. Pull it up on YouTube. It's a song a lady sings it. 4.5 stars. Cassidy does it again with her second book set in the plum orchard. There are many life lessons that characters are forced to learn in this emotional story. For example, our meek heroine must learn to go after what she wants, not what she thinks she deserves. And when I think of Dakota Cassidy, I think of the vampire cartoon, the vampire ones with the cartoon covers. I don't think about contemporary romance. Emily Amos is used to fading into the background of the Plum Orchard Society. When her husband leaves her for another woman who understands his need to dress in women's clothing, Em and her two sons become the focus of the town gossip mongers. Then Em accepts the job of general manager at her best friend's phone sex company, making it even harder to keep a low profile. Oh, good God. Take my breath away. Kathy Christy Ridgway. What an awesome start to Cabin Fever series. Ridgway's latest is heartwarming, extremely romantic, and one of those books will make you feel tingly all over. Former teen idol Ryan Hamilton is going through a rough patch and wants some time away from his hectic life. He rents a cabin nestled in the mountains of California, but his private time may be cut short by a sexy stranger single mother who has promised to restore the family resort. There was another one recently where two people booked the same cabin at the same time. Um, that might have been in one of the if thens. A man's promise. Didn't I see a bigger picture for this? Yes. A man's promise. We talked about her in our Black Authors if then, so go check that out. Um, A Man's Promise, 4.5 stars. The best thing about this second book of the Granger series is the setup for the next one. Caden Granger has a long carried his anger towards Shiloh. For 4 years, they planned to elope in Las Vegas until Caden was shown photos of Shiloh with another man. Shiloh never showed. Caden made assumptions, and he vowed never to see her again. Caden is back in his hometown to help run the family business, and he and Shiloh have one more explosive confrontation that could keep them apart permanently or put them together permanently. See what happens there. Unmasking Juliet. The lady in the purple. Harry Wilson, 4 stars. Neither an appreciation for nor a familiarity with Shakespeare is needed to enjoy this Romeo and Juliet tale. Juliet Arabella attends the annual masquerade ball in an unhappy state after refusing a marriage proposal she knows her family wanted her to accept. The numbness disappears after she meets a masked stranger in the vineyards. But the stranger turns out to be Leo, whose family runs the chocolate shop. I hope they don't end up dead at the end of the book. Um, Dreamweaver Tale. What do I have? Wait, this one's better. Dreamweaver Tale. Emily March. 4 stars. The beauty of the Caribbean brings Gabby and Flynn together as their relationship builds. Readers are drawn into the story by the trials and tribulations, will keep the plot moving along. And while it takes a little while to get back to Eternity Springs, the bold visuals of the island make it a vacation for readers. They will until they come back to the familiar characters that we've grown to love. Gabby Romano needs some space to figure out where her life is headed, and a dog sitting job in Caribbean is just what she needs. Dog sitting in the Caribbean. You had to go that far to find a dog sitting job. Maybe you wanted to do it on vacation. Okay, well that can go both ways, I guess. Um, so let's just get over it. Where is it? I walked right by it. I had to have walked right by it. The Marriage Pet. 4 stars. Miller has a perfect niche with charming Western romances and cowboys who will set readers' hearts aflutter. Dude, this is hard. All right. When she was 18, Trip Galloway dragged Hadley Stevens away kicking and screaming on her wedding day and saved her from a horrible mistake. Hadley has finally recovered from the embarrassment of Tripp's much needed interference, and she and her girlfriends have made a pact. The single men of Bliss County better watch out. Tripp is divorced and ready to come back to save her ailing father's ranch. He's definitely not looking for a wife, but he's never been able to get Haley out of his mind. If you haven't read the McKettricks and the Stones, you got to read the McKettricks and the Stones. All right, so let's move on. There's more here, but I'm just not in the mood anymore. I wanted to bring up something real quick. Well, no, you know what? I'll wait till we get to the erotic section, then I'll talk about it. Um, if you see the rose all the way across here, all the way across, all the way across, you know this woman. This is the sister series. This is the sisters. This is part of the sisters. She did men too, by the way. And this is separate from the Carpathians. This is the water series. Or the Sea Haven series. Um, and I never could pronounce any of these Russian names. Ariana's gift to intuit patterns in the air around her lead to work on a secret government project when she was a child, but the murder of her mother destroyed everything, and Ariana fled the program. Now living with her sisters of her heart in Sea Haven, Ariana is horrified to realize she's been targeted once again. Kidnapped and taken aboard a ship owned by evil billionaire Evan. Does she dare trust mysterious Maxim Praxi, who claims to be there to rescue her and take her to the Russian biological father? Don't know. You know, I've tried some of this woman's books, and they never sank. They never dug in. 4.5 stars. Many of Superstar Singh's characters are damaged in some way, but none more so than Psych Arrow and TV Basic, tortured and molded into the perfect soldier and assassin. You want to meet a tortured character? Talk to Asheron. The danger in the psych neck is growing as lethal contagion is spreading. A murderous insanity. Caleb Kyrek has a theory that the long despised designation could be the key to stopping the disease. But to test this theory, the E's must wake up and use their powers. Jane is an empath whose abilities were rehabilitated years ago and nearly destroyed her. Vax doesn't want to be part of this experiment, but upon meeting Ivy Jane, he changes his mind. Ah, and I just missed the. Let's go with. I have no idea. I have no idea. I missed this one too. I got involved in what I was doing. Um. All right. Let's go back a second. I missed one. I missed one. I want to hold your hand, Marie Force. It only has 3 stars, though, but we'll do it anyway. The tender, sweet story about a widow finding love will pull at readers' heartstrings. However, it takes a long time. Okay, warning. It's been almost 7 years since Hannah Abbott Guthrie lost her husband in Iraq, and she's not sure she'll ever be able to move on. When a lifelong friend stops to inspire romantic feelings for the first time since her husband's passing, she's afraid that starting a relationship will betray the memory of her husband. All right, I get it now. I get the 3 stars. Sorry. All right, let's go back to paranormal. All right. Uh, I bet this will end up in my box soon. Terry Spear, Jaguar Hunt. 4.5 stars. The ferocious feline novel is a passionate love story gently woven into an action-packed plot that will steal readers' breath away. Jaguar shifter and member of JAG Elite Force David Patterson is on a mission to hunt down trouble lurking in the jungle of Belize. It's next to impossible to get the job done, and after bailing David out of jail, the new mission partner, Agent Tammy Anderson, knows she's going to be in head over heels. The pair must locate a missing jaguar who has been terrorizing a couple of young shifters in town. But that brings them together romantically. You can see that coming. Um, another lady that graces uh over there. Over there. Alexander Ivy, Hunt the Darkness. What happened? 4.5 stars. What happens when witch magic and vampires collide? Nothing good. A vampire clan rogue can attest, as good as readers learned in the previous Guardians of Eternity novel. Powerful witch Sally Grace used magic on Rogue in an attempt to escape, but it backfired. Now Rock and Sally are mated. To say that Rourke is angry over being forced mating with the former Dark Lord follower Sally is an understatement. After Sally, a witch, cast a spell leading him to mate her, it seems they're stuck with each other for eternity. Sally discovered too late that being half demon caused the spell to run amok, and in order to break it, she must figure out what kind of demon her father was. But I bet they end up falling in love anyway. Go figure. Um, we have 2 books. I couldn't find that one for nothing. All right, we have 2 ladies to talk about here. I've got the Succubus series. I was into the Succubus series a while ago. The Immortal Crown, 4.5 stars. The Age of X is back. An incredible Mead returns to her dystopian figure where politics, religion, and the gods collide. Though religion investigator Justin March spends his time tracking down religious extremists in Runa, he has recently elected by the god Odin as his elect. Assigned to protect Justin's super soldiers, May Kassan has also unwittingly been touched by the gods. Their current assignment is to accompany a diplomatic delegation headed by Lucian Darling into Acadia Ruins' dangerous neighbor whose society treats women as commodities where religion runs the government. Different. Okay. Now, it just so happens that this is book 9 of the series. And book 10 is actually coming out this year. She put the series, she was writing Anita. All of these are Anita. And she got to about here, about Narcissus in Chains, and decided to, well, in her, maybe a couple years earlier. I'll have to check the books. But and Anita was long established by the time Mary came out. And she wanted to do more adult stuff. She wanted more bedroom stuff. She wanted reasons to go totally ebooks. But she didn't want to do that with Anita at the time. She's now doing that with Anita. At last count, Anita had like 20 lovers. In the beginning of the Anita series, it was like not only no, but hell no. And that was my problem with some of it in the beginning. You just got to let it go. Because when she first started with John Claude, well, Laurel says she was going to kill John Claude, but he became such a good character that she went with him. But she was like, you know, she's married. Well, she may or may not be marrying. Laurel's digging her heels in. She's we did book 30, and we thought book 30 was going to be the huge, was it Slay and Smolders up there? They're all up there. And we thought, you have to go watch my review for the 2 books. I just go off something terrible. We thought it would be the big marriage, but it's not. And in fact, the next 1 to 2 books may not even be the marriage. She wants to get past the Jason issue first. I believe that's what the last time she said. So we might do a Jason book, then we might do the marriage book. But in between all of that, she's written something else totally off the board. And she's also written a Mary. So the Mary book is coming out this year. Book 10 is coming out for the Mary series. Mary was happy at the end of this book, and she didn't want to mess that up. So she needed a good reason to come back to it. So this is, what did I just do? Oh, this is book 9, and Mary has a bunch of lovers. There's even a bookmark in here. Oh, it's I was in the fan club at some point. I've got some stuff. I've got a Laurel shirt that I should dig out of the closet. Ah, a shiver of light. 4 stars. Mary Gentry returns. It's been over 4 years since the last book in the series came out, and it's been worth the wait. Well, it's been 11, 15 years since Shiver. So this is 14. So 11 years. It's 2025. It's been 11 years since Shiver came out. It's easy to see the struggle that Hamilton had to get back into this world, but she quickly finds Mary's voice and recaptures the magic that drew readers to the series in the first place. Finally having conceived an heir, Mary Gentry is ready to give birth any day when she's given some shocking news. She's having triplets. Not only is she having triplets, but get this, 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 get this. She's having 3 kids at the same time by 3 different fathers. Yeah, get that one? The information quickly sends her into labor, and now, along with the men in her life, have to contend with an unexpected additional baby no one expected. While they manage this unforeseen challenge, King Tyrannus is suing for visitation rights and genetic testing to prove the babies are his, the fruit of his sexual assault of Mary. To further complicate matters, Queen Adia seemingly regained her sanity and wishes to see her nephew and nieces. It's just. We've also got a full article here. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Remember we had the picture of the lady, and I said we had one in leather. This is the one in leather. After 5 years, Mary Gentry is back. What was the most challenging and rewarding parts of Shiver? The rewarding part of writing Shiver is was simply being back in Mary's world with her head with her loud in my head again. I'd forgotten just how much I enjoyed playing in her world, and I had missed the characters. The most challenging is the usual with Mary. It's difficult to write for me. Mary Gentry's series was created by my first marriage was in dissolution, and no matter how much I love her and her men, the pain and sorrow of the point in my life clings to the series for me. Multiple babies, multiple lovers. Obstacles that Mary and her babies will face. More plots, both courts of fairy with fractions wanting her to be their puppet, or still so afraid of her mortal blood that they will never see her dead rather than on the throne. See what happens there. All right, now, there was, if I can find it now, a full page. There is no. Did I? Oh, I need to put this back in the book. Put that back in the book. So I saw this and I was like, I have that book. Let me look for the review. I couldn't find the review. I looked all over. There's no review. They review a different book of hers, but not this one. So I thought that I would share the review with you. This is Rough Riders Book 16. Look how thick it is. The moment Carson McKay saw the sexy blonde at the dance hall, he wanted to throw her over his saddle and gallop hell-bent toward the closest church. Given his reputation as a lover and a fighter, not necessarily in that order, it wasn't surprising she gave him the cold shoulder, but he hadn't expected the mean right hook when he tried to steal a kiss. See what happens there. And I got so involved that um I forgot to write down the timestamps. But anyway, I don't think there's any. Oh, if you haven't seen, go back and watch May's RT. We did the professional in there. I didn't realize Kelsey had done porn. I just thought that was unusual. We'll just go through these. We'll just watch the pages turn. Because I need to have breakfast. I haven't had breakfast yet. Eller's Cave. Contests and giveaways. They happen on uh Goodreads now. A little something different. Sandy Hall. Looks like something good for Valentine's Day. So, no Harlequins today. There's going to be a whole bunch for 2015. I've gathered up a ton of books for 2015. But then we're almost to the end, and that's heart-wrenching that we've come to the end of this. If you could please hit the like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much.